probably be getting started, okay? The first thing I want everyone to do is probably, can you guys disperse yourselves evenly between science for group 1 and group 2? And so we can, like, switch you up a little and you get a better experience, I guess. So everyone go to science for group 1 or group 2. Preferably, like, an even split. We'll probably just move you, if you don't anyway.
So if you notice that one group has more than the other, then just go to the other group. All
Okay,
right.
Catherine, you think everyone's about evenly split?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, I guess we'll be getting started. So I'm gonna just start screen sharing. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it. Can you see everything, Catherine?
Yep, I see it.
Awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, let's get started. So, we are Teach to Learn, and we will be teaching the Introduction to Science Fair. As you might have heard from the Discord sign-in meeting, we're mainly going to focus just on science fair ideation, as it's a little bit early to get started with science fair, and it might already be in your curriculum anyway. So we're just gonna do some tips on the front end mostly, experimentation, how that would work, idea creation, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we are Teach to Learn, and we're a student-led nonprofit organization trying to help you guys discover and pursue your passions in science. So we are not exactly your teach. What? We're not exactly
Yeah,
your.
you can go.
Okay, we're not exactly. We don't want to exactly be your teachers or lecturers. We're really more like you. A better word would be like mentors, because we're here to inspire and guide you guys. We're not here to just tell you things.
Yeah, the goal of our organization is really to help y'all find a subject that you guys are really passionate about and that you can see yourself doing in the future.
Yeah. So you might have you might have seen all of us in the voice channel at the start, but these are your mentors. I'm Nathan. I'm on the right end. I have some experience in computer science.
I'm Catherine and I have some experience in plant sciences.
And although not all the mentors are going to be here, if you have a question about any of these categories that we specialize in or anything similar to that, please feel free to message us and we can respond to you there. Oh
I
yeah.
guess I'm also here.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Ashton. Okay, Ashton, maybe Alex is here. So Ashton?
yeah, so like Nathan and Catherine, I'm also kind of helping mentor this workshop, and I guess I have a specialty in a little bit of computer science, and a little bit of biochemistry. So yeah.
Okay. So the main things we're going to do today is basically introduce you guys to the concept of science fair. We're going to have a survey for you guys to narrow down the categories you might enjoy, and then finally we'll have a question session for any other extraneous questions you might have about this. So let's get started. What is science fair? Well, science fair is a competition that helps you guys find your passions, find a project, something that you can really get driven to and motivate and gain passion toward. Ugh.
For basically works is that y'all are going to do research on a topic that you guys think that you think is really interesting. Then after you do some research on that topic, you're going to do an experiment on that topic, and then the final result is that y'all are going to present your results in a competition in front of a panel of judges.
Okay, so the way the science fair progression essentially works is you first start off in CISD, the district competition. If you get first place in your category, and there can be multiple sections per category. Essentially, what I'm saying is if you and your buddy are both in environmental science, you can both get first place in your subcategory, in your subsection within each category, and you can both advance to regionals. Following there, if you're top 4 in regionals usually, you can advance to state competition, and that's a pretty big honor. So here are some past projects. Catherine, would you like to describe them a little?
Sure. And these projects are all done by high schoolers, and I know that they seem really advanced and out of reach. But the whole goal of our Science Fair workshop is to help you get to a point where you can do really cool projects like that on topics that you find really interesting and are really passionate about.
Yeah, so if you're in 7th or 8th grade, you might just be starting out in science fair, you might do a project on yeast or something, and you look at these kids and you're like, what, how in the world did they even do this? How is this even possible? Well, the thing is, they've had years of experience. They're probably sophomores, juniors, seniors in high school. So they've had years and years of experience built up over time, and that's how they were able to get to these complexity level projects. There are a lot of benefits to science fair. First off, the competition it's a really fun experience. You get to go all day with your friends and you get to essentially hang out most of the time. You'll be judged. You get to speak about your project that you've been working so hard on because this is the culmination of everything you've worked for throughout the year. In addition, there's a lot of prestigious awards you can win, prize money. There's a lot of companies, right? Companies want to search for the next generation, and that's what we are, science fair kids, right? We are the ones we're going to be the ones that are going to be the top of the class or whatever, creating these interesting projects in science. Catherine, my phone is
Yeah,
ringing, so
all right. In science fair, it's also a really good opportunity to gain really valuable skills that you'll use throughout your entire life, such as presenting and scientific research. So by doing science fair, it'll give you a little heads up on that part. Okay, so I think that Nathan's
I am
wait.
back. Okay,
All
yeah,
right.
sorry, it was just ringing, that's all. Anyway, getting back into it, there are 3 main categories for science fair. We're not going to get into them we're going to get into them deeply a bit later, but essentially it boils down to life sciences, which is just like living organisms, physical science, non-living things, and engineering, where you're able to actually build stuff and test them. So right now we're just going to do a survey. I will post, Catherine, can you post the link in the Discord? You're going to go
Or
look,
we could just
yeah,
or we could just screen share the survey and have them do it that way.
okay. Then I will need a minute, and I'm going to screen share the survey for you guys, and hopefully we can, oh wait, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm going to stop streaming and start streaming again, so please click on my screen again. By my name, it should say live, so please click on that. This was a problem last time, so. Would you like to guide them through it, Catherine?
Yeah, sure. So, y'all can get out a piece of paper and a pencil right now because we're going to be doing a little survey. So I'll just wait for y'all to do that. I'm going to go add a poll in the science fair polls area, and it's going to ask you if you're ready with it or not.
Okay, so the way you're going to want to set up your paper, there are a total of 24 questions, so just label your page with like 1 through 24. So once you guys are done with that, Catherine will put up a poll, just once you guys are done labeling and getting your paper done.
Polls on now.
We're just going to do this based on the number of people that are signed into the poll, so please once you guys have labeled your paper, make sure and click on the poll and like that poll so we know. Once again, yeah, just label your paper 1 through 24, and then like the science fair polls thing, and then we'll get started pretty shortly. That's under Science Fair polls. So click on that little text channel underneath Science Fair, and you should see it. Are you ready? Ready for it? Okay, so we've hit 10 people liking it, so I think we're going to continue.
Yep.
Anyway, this is a survey to see what kind of stuff you like. So for each of these, you can just read the directions, but for each of these, give it a 1. Each of the statements, as I'm highlighting below, give it a 1 to 10 rating based on how much you agree with it, right? If you like it, then you give it a 10. If you really hate it, give it a 1. But if you're unsure, write a 5, right? But don't do that for all of them, because then you'll really never know. So here they are, just for each of the labels you have. So 1 through 24, just put the number you agree with it, 1 through 10. I'll start slowly scrolling down after a certain point in time.
Yeah, and if you have any questions or concerns, just feel free to speak up or just use the text channel to ask us a question.
Yeah, that's another thing. We'll be constantly monitoring those, so if you ever have any questions, right, just feel free to post them, okay? This is a back and forth kind of thing.
Right, so in the science fair poll section, I put a question that just tells you to like this comment if you're done with the survey so that we know when you're finished.
Yeah, once we hit around 9 or 10 people, we'll just continue, okay? So please like it, because that's the way we'll know that we're continuing. Also, if you need me to go back, please dislike that comment, okay? So I know as well. Okay. Actually, yeah.
And if y'all want us to go back to a certain question, just text it in one of the text channels to tell us where to go back to.
Catherine, is everything still legible for my screen share? Catherine, is everything still legible?
Yeah, wait, hold up.
Just check on it, just to make sure.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Good.
You should also, did you send them the shareable link for this
We
so they can like?
did not.
Yeah, maybe for like so they can yeah, so if you go to share. Here. Okay. So I'm gonna give them the shareable link so they can go through it at their own pace, just in case.
Okay, yeah.
Copy link. So
Okay, yeah. I think
I'm
we're getting close, so yeah, once we hit 10 people liking that comment, we're just gonna get started. We're just gonna move on.
okay. Sure.
Okay. Hopefully Ashton, I think Ashton's posted. Yeah, Ashton will post it if you're not done yet. He posted it underneath Science Fair announcements. So if you're not done, click on that link under Science Fair announcements to find the quiz. But we're gonna just
Yeah.
move on for the most people.
Yeah, it's really important that you guys do this quiz because it'll help you narrow down from like science can encompass so many different things, and this quiz, although it might seem like a little bit of tedious work, it'll narrow it down tremendously to where you're only really focusing on a couple of things that maybe you didn't even know that you liked, but now that we've helped you find exactly what in science that you could be passionate about and do have fun doing research in, essentially. So, yeah.
So, so the second part is you're gonna just add up the answers depending on each of these. For like, so if you let's say for question 1 you put 5, so you're gonna add 5 to the total. If you got not for 9 you got, let's say you got 5 on each of them, then you just add up 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and that would equal 20 for the total. So just do that for all of these and just see what you get. Okay. Catherine's gonna send out a poll once people are done with the adding part.
And we'll go over what these scores mean and what like A, B, C, D, E, F means once everyone is finished.
So yeah, Catherine just added the poll to Science Fair polls. So once you guys are done with that, once we hit 10, then we're gonna move on to the next activity, I guess.
So the way you add it up here, let me explain. So actually, hold up. Let me pull it up on my computer. Give me 1 second. I'll explain. I can screen share. Yeah, could be interesting. Okay. So let's say, and let me share my screen so you can watch what I'm doing. I'll explain exactly how to add them up. So if you would shift your attention from Nathan's thing to mine. So I'm just going to create a copy of the document here so I can edit it. So I'm just going to take this first. I'm just going to take this thing right here, for example, A. So A consists of questions 1, 9, 14, and 16, right? So let's say for 1, I don't know, you put 5. For 9, you put 6. For 14, you put like 2. And for 16, you put like 10, right? So remember, because you rated each of these questions on a scale from 1 to 10. So what it's asking for you to do here is for section A, go to all the questions that are question number 1, question number 9, 14, and 16, and take the corresponding score that you gave to those questions. So in this case, it would be 5, 6, 2, and 10. And what you would do is you add them all up. So what is that? 23, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just put 23 there, right? And you do the same for each set of numbers, right? So for B, I would go to question 3, 7, 17, and 22 and see what I put as the corresponding score. So like I put, say for example, I put 10 on all 3, 7, 17, and 22. Or no, I don't put 22 on 22, I put 10 on 22. So that means as a total I would have 40, right? Because all of the scores from those questions added up to be 40. Does that kind of make sense? Oh, Elise, does that make sense? If you can put in discussion.
Yeah, so once you guys finish that, please make sure and like put the like in the survey so we know you guys are done, and then we'll just move on to the next thing.
Also, we should probably have 2 separate poll chats. So,
Yeah.
doesn't
The
get
poll for
confusing.
computer science is done differently. It shows like the person. We might want to put that poll bot, move the poll bot like there, here, you know.
Sure, I'll look into that. But yeah, go continue on. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Have you guys split up into groups yet?
We're finishing the survey. We'll get there shortly.
I thought you were supposed to do the survey in the groups, but I guess not. Because that's what the other group is doing. They split up already into 2 groups for surveys.
It shouldn't be too big of a deal, I don't think. Okay, I'm just gonna assume you guys have finished the survey by now. It's just adding up. If you haven't, please put so in the discussion right now.
Right, yeah, and we're gonna go over what each of the scores mean.
Okay, well, regardless of whether you have completed it yet, I think we should probably separate out into further out into groups, okay? And you guys can get it done there. Can you guys like about evenly disperse yourselves between groups 1, 4, and 5?
Wait, no, it'd be 1
1, right? Or 1 and 4? Or
and
1,
4,
4, and
4 people.
Yeah, so just disperse yourselves, okay? Half of you go to Ashton. Do you want to run your own group? Are you prepared to do that?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So disperse yourselves evenly between 1, 4, and 5, or we'll do it for you.
All right. So Nathan, you probably want to
Yeah.
move
Yeah, it's
from
kind
your.
of hard to. I can't really reach it.
Oh, okay. I got it. Hold up.
Like, I'd have to do it manually.
I'm just gonna take these bottom people. Okay, like maybe 1 or 2 more. I recognize some of these people who actually talk, so I want to keep them in my group.
Wow. It's all
Okay.
good.
Hey everyone, can you unmute yourselves? Let's
Yeah.
have.
Wait, are we
Now
gonna
that we've
split
done
ourselves into? Are we just 2? Ashton and I will tag team this,
Oh,
or should we go into group 5 as well?
sure. It seems like we're just splitting up into 4 groups now, and I
whatever.
think everybody's yeah. Let's just tag team it, just like the
Okay.
old days, you know.
Okay, so can everyone unmute themselves? Is that going to be a possibility?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
Okay. We're just going to
nice
discuss
guys.
the results, I guess. That is
How
what we're
about
doing.
Nope, don't. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, it's going to be right by.
Ahona. Owen's here. Wait, is this the Owen from that we know from last year? Same Owen? Can you guys unmute yourselves? Karina, Owen,
I'm gonna just see what
Independence. How about Karina? One more person. Hey, nice guys. We unmuted ourselves.
Awesome.
That
Okay.
is great.
So now I guess we'll discuss the links to the server. I mean, not the links to the server. What am I saying? The results to the test. Ashton, I do not have access to them, and neither does Caitlin. So
9460.
you're gonna need to put that somewhere. Okay, yeah. So Ashton will shortly be putting up the results to the survey. I mean, yeah, the survey you just took. He'll post them in the discussion,
Yep, I'm gonna look for them right
so
now.
all the groups can see them. Really.
But can you all go ahead and like introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
How about we do that one by one? Let's introduce ourselves. Starting from the top, Aditi.
Hi, my name is Aditi.
Cool.
What grade are you in?
I'm in sixth grade.
Nice. How about Ahona? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi, my name is Ahona, and I'm going to seventh grade.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay, Ansh.
Hello, my name is Ansh, and I'm going to 8th grade.
Okay, that's
Cool.
good stuff.
Brahmani. I remember you from yesterday's workshop. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Amani, and I'm going to go to seventh grade next year.
Cool. Camila.
Cool.
Hi, my name is Camilla and I'm going to seventh grade.
Nice. Karina.
Hi, my name is, and I'm going to.
It cut out for a little bit there. Could you restate what grade you're going to?
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade. Nice. And then Owen.
Hi, sixth grade.
Oh, it's a different. Oh, we got another person. Hey,
Oops, I didn't mean to do
could
that.
you unmute yourselves?
Yeah, they were muted earlier, so I'm not sure. I just stole them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still looking for this answer key. There's so many
Okay, yeah,
different
so we'll get the
folders.
answer key to you guys shortly. Okay, Owen already did his. How about, I'm not even gonna attempt that name. It starts with the THOS. Okay, good.
Oshika.
Okay, cool. Wait. Okay, yeah, so we got you here finally. Okay, good stuff.
Perfect.
So, what grade are you going to?
I'm going to sixth grade.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. So Ashton is going to find
I
the.
found it.
Okay, awesome. So he's gonna put that in the discussion, and so everyone can see the results of their survey. What kind of categories you might like for science fair? That stuff that might interest you.
Yeah. So the goal of this little thing that we're doing is that hold up. Is that you can find exactly what in science you're interested in, because all of us here can say I'm interested in STEM. What does that really mean? That it could mean an infinite number of things, right? STEM is there's so much about STEM, right? And so I'm gonna put the key in announcements. Can you guys all access the announcements channel? It's in announcements. But what I was saying is these are very simple questions, right? That I feel like all of you would be able to answer. And based on those simple questions, you'd be able to narrow down, drastically what exactly, like I could go from, hey, I'm interested in STEM to, hold up, this is not the right one. Why would they call it the key?
Okay, never mind.
Category, it's called category clusters, isn't it? Yeah, it's called category clusters. Yeah, this is the one.
Make sure and delete the other one. Wait, should you want me to?
Go ahead and delete the other one. Sorry guys, I put the wrong link in the chat. Here's the right link. So hopefully by now, you guys have done all the adding and you found which category A, B, C, D, E, F you're interested in the most, which would be indicated by the one that's the highest number, So now if you navigate to this new link that I've put in announcements, it's called Science Fair Idea Survey Key. I've just put it in announcements. You'll be able to find what exactly A, B, C, D, E, and F match with in terms of science fair clusters and subtopics, right? So
Oh, shoot.
everyone
This
go
is
ahead and
not
do
it.
that. How is it not it? Oh. Isn't it? So they've done the things where they found A, B, C, D, and E, F, right?
It doesn't correspond to a category.
It doesn't?
It does not.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's interesting. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. We'll get it sorted
Wait,
out
which
in a
one
minute,
is it?
okay?
Wait a second. Wait, could you find it then?
I don't know where it is.
So is it? What does it look like?
I've never actually seen it, so.
I'm pretty sure it is this, Nathan. The category clusters.
But no, it doesn't say what category it corresponds to.
It says A, plant science and animal science, B,
Where?
computer science. Wait, are you clicking on the right link? Here, let me send it again.
Okay, yeah, just send it again.
Yeah.
That might have been my mistake, guys. Sorry.
You're
Okay,
good,
no,
you're
this
good.
one's category clusters. This one says differently. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have sent the wrong link then. Okay. So, oh, this is the editable link though. I don't know if that.
Yeah. So if you guys look at that, whichever one you guys most strongly were put into, whichever categories you had the highest amount of points for, that's probably the thing you're gonna want to go to. And
Yeah, Nathan, I think you were right. I think I just had the wrong link copied, even though I had the right document up.
yeah,
Thanks for
it's weird. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so if you navigate to this new link that I put in announcement, sorry about that, guys. But based on what you guys answered for the quiz that you just took, the little survey, whatever topics A, B, C, D, and F that you get the highest score in, that's what you're probably going to be interested in or passionate about. There's something about science that you would actually have fun doing, right? Because a lot of you might have this preconceived notion that like science is just, you know, the class you take and it's boring and it's just like memorization. But that's just not true at all. Science is about exploring, a lot of science is about exploring new frontiers and researching new things and innovating new things. And this is something that's not really stressed, I would say, at all. In a lot of you guys are in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. You know, it's really like, I remember when I was in school, it's really just about, hey, memorize the phases of the moon or memorize, you know, the water cycle or something, right? It's
I remember that.
yeah, exactly, right? So, like, science fair is just so much different than that. It's not just, let me just memorize something and spit it back out on a test and it's boring like that. Because trust me, for me and Nathan, it wasn't really, going to science class wasn't really all that fun. Whereas science fair, well, that's something brand new. That's something where you can pave your own path in science. You can say, like, hey, I did this project, really cool project by myself, like Nathan was showing you. I developed, you know,
Something interesting.
something interesting. Like
I developed a
Nathan,
micropump.
talk about your project
What?
actually.
No. Oh wait, I was gonna. Wait, okay, wait. My project in 8th grade. I'm gonna talk about my project in 8th. Actually, yeah.
Or maybe
It doesn't
like
matter.
last year.
Okay, sure.
Right?
So what I did is, I created, you know, those things that they attach to the patient's head to monitor their little head movements, and you see all the little signals on the computer. That's called an EEG, or electroencephalogram. And I made one of those, and I used data from that and another data set to like detect when someone is having a seizure. So obviously that has huge implications if like, oh, because when you have a seizure, they might fall over, right? Because they've lost control of their body and they might hit something on the way down, and that could be really dangerous for them. So, yeah, I thought it was a really fun project. mine was an engineering project based, but really it doesn't really that doesn't makes or break a project like what category it's in, because all areas of science, if you like them, they can be extremely interesting for you, and they could be great. Yeah. Ashton, do you have any projects you want to talk about? Like maybe I know you did one for freshman year, right?
Yeah, I did one for freshman year. It wasn't really that interesting. I think the one that's more interesting that I would like to talk about was last year. Last year was really fun. I think I found something I was really interested in, which was I looked at so for you guys are all familiar with like Alzheimer's and depression and other like mental diseases, disorders like that. So what I wanted to do is um, develop a process in which finding drugs to cure these diseases was streamlined, right? And the way I did this was I used data about molecules and their different molecules' effectiveness on uh, its effectiveness in how do I explain this? Blocking or inhibiting the receptor that's associated with these mental diseases. But I guess more broad understanding of what I did is just I used machine learning to develop a streamlined method and new drugs for uh, curing a lot of these mental diseases and disorders. So that was a pretty cool project, and I believe that all of you guys here are capable of doing stuff that Nathan and I have done, and stuff even better. Even though you might not really think about it, or maybe your notion about science right now is like, you know, just memorizing the water cycle or something like that, right? Like, science is like you can make anything you want, you can create anything you want. And that's your perception from now on. That's what you need to have, and that's what we're essentially trying to do here: is find something that you'll essentially be really passionate about, starting from an early age. And maybe in a couple of years, you could start doing a lot of the stuff that maybe you might think is impossible now, right? So uh, just have faith in us and stick with us, and we'll help you get there. Is essentially what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. So that's enough about us. What did you guys get for your preferred categories? I really want to know.
So in Science
Yeah.
Fair polls, I'm going to create a poll,
Mhm.
actually, and you'll be able to answer with uh, which category you guys got. So I'm going to create the different answers based on the different categories we have here. So it would be, bear with me for just a second. Hold up. Animal science, computer science.
There's a lot of
And there's no one
categories.
category that's better than the other.
Because I mean, obviously they can all be equally interesting. There's people researching, well, elsewhere. There's scientists researching about all of these kind of things. They're really interested and passionate about it. And although your guys aren't adults or scientists or anything like that, you can create your own experiments yourself and see really the joy in that.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever guys heard of the kids going to the White House and presenting their science fair projects to the president? You guys aren't far off from that. Like, if you guys start now and do what we're telling, pretty much promoting here, that could be you in a couple years.
Oh, that's an L.
So if you answer my poll in the science fair polls, let me know what you guys got. We're just interested in seeing.
Yeah, if you got like, let's say you got like two that were really close to the top, you can do that as well. I mean, it's just kind of, it gives you just a ballpark idea of like where most of your answers, right, where generally the highest values were, because you don't, obviously you want to find what you're interested in, but you don't want to limit yourself too. So if you had two or three that were really high, then obviously put those in there, put both in there. We just got someone new, someone just popped in the server. Hi Valeria, would you like to turn off your mic? Because we are doing a science fair lecture.
Turn on your mic.
I've just seen her kind of around the server. She might not actually be like doing stuff. So also, in addition to that, we want you guys, okay, underneath, right above Ashton's poll, there's another Google Docs workshop survey. So we want you guys to really we want you guys to fill that out. I know it's pretty much the same thing as we had earlier, but the thing is, it'll help us pair you guys up a little later in the future, maybe. So please fill that out as well. It's by Connor Dang under Science Fair polls. Okay.
Also put it in announcements.
Is it in announcements? It might be. Caitlin might.
Probably not yet.
It is not.
So I'll put it
So
in
Ashton's gonna
announcements
put
now.
it in there in the announcements. Science Fair announcements. Workshop 1 survey. Please fill that out. It'll help us out a ton. Okay, so, okay, I guess we're gonna start a little more interactive stuff. Aditi, what did you get for your top 1 or 2 categories?
I got C and F. So
Okay.
mostly C.
I don't actually know. What do those categories correspond to?
So C was medical,
Mm-hmm.
medicine and health, and F was mathematics and physics.
Awesome. Okay. I do not have too much experience in either of those, but I did have do physics projects in like 7th and 8th grade, and the do you know anything about them, Ashton? Those categories,
Physics, mathematics, and physics. Is that the category she said?
as well as medicine and health, behavioral
Yeah.
science.
So starting from mathematics and physics, you'd actually be really surprised how like interesting physics is, because what is physics, right? Like we all know it as the study of like motion and materials and all. Oh shoot, my battery is running low. Let me plug it in right now. But like it's just the whole field is like really cool because it just allows you to think deeper into like what exactly makes up our world and the rules that pretty much govern how things work, right? I mean, that's really what physics is. I mean, along with a lot of other sciences, but I feel like physics demonstrates that very well. But for the categories in science fair, people do really like niche
Amazing
and very
things.
like unique things. I've seen things with magnetics and light. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in that, um, like I would probably start looking into just fundamental physics, just like search it up, and just start reading about it, I guess, a little bit. See if that's something, and also look at recent articles, and this goes for all of you based on what your first topics were. Just look up recent articles and research done in those specific fields. Like you can look up what Science Daily or search up like for physics. You can search up physics science news or something, physics news, and you'll find tons of stuff. And a lot of the stuff is a lot interesting if it's written in articles. Maybe you might not want to read an entire research paper because that might kind of get boring and hard to understand, especially for like a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grader. But if you look up recent articles, there's a lot of cool stuff in there that might spark your imagination. And if you find something, again, this goes for all of you, just like a certain topic that's like, wow, like this is really cool. Whether you think you'll be able to accomplish it or not, like take note of that, right? Because what we're going to do later on is we're going to work with you and we're going to help you create a really cool project, hopefully about something that you find really interesting, and allow you to pursue that. Even though you guys are, relatively young, pursue something relatively complex, right? And we can make that easy because that's really what science fair is about, especially at our age. So, yeah. Another thing for medicine and health, going back to that, people do a lot of stuff with, like technically mine was medicine last year, but I was in biochemistry. I mean, pretty much I used machine learning to develop drug-like molecules based on data about, the data would be hard to explain, but based on the public data, there's people who, test different things with using different new drugs on bacteria. I don't even know what goes on in medicine and health. I know Prerit, he Prerit cured, what was it, Huntington's or something?
He cured Parkinson's using what is it called? Gene editing, CRISPR,
Yeah,
right? CRISPR, right?
CRISPR.
Except he might have
He
deleted 2 chromosomes.
the But
That's not good.
that being said, there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on in medicine and health. One thing I suggest you all go, guys, all go check is a
Science Daily?
SCFH website.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay, so while Ashton does that, I just want to tell you guys one other thing, and that is like don't be afraid to ask others for help. Okay, so in ninth grade, I did a project relating to like, okay, I think I might have done a project relating to algae or something, and I had a question like a kind of niche question that you might not, it might be difficult to get an answer to. Like it was like growing times or something kind of niche like that. And one thing you can totally do is reach out in emails. Reach out to a professor. That's what I did. Because although they are professors and they are pretty busy people, seeing that other students are interested in science and they're pursuing their own passions as well, that's the kind of stuff professors love. After all, they are just teachers for advanced students, okay? They want to see that kind of passion. So please do not be afraid to ask like people that have knowledge. Like don't be afraid to email people asking questions about your subject because that's what they're there for. And yeah, that's pretty big.
So in your free time, like I would just suggest like it might not seem interesting at first, but like looking at these projects, it's going to spark your imagination. It's gonna be crazy. Like when I looked through these projects, I was like, I would sat there for a relatively long time. I was like, wow, this is crazy, and like it kind of inspired me to like, wow, like I can do this, right? Um, and the same will be for you guys. So in your free time, like I dropped 2 links in Science Fair announcements. Like check it out because I promise you, it's going to be worth your time. And it's just going to be really cool. But yeah, medicine and health, you can look up for category awards and all that. There are people in junior high. If you go to the SAFH website and also the TXSCF, which both of them I've put in the Science Fair chat, you can navigate to awards for junior high schoolers, and they're people that are the same age as you guys, pretty much, right? And they've done such cool projects, and don't think just because you look at their projects and it seems kind of complicated that you can't do it, because that's just one of the biggest misconceptions in science fair. And if you find something that you're interested in, but you just have a lot of questions about, number one, just shoot each of us mentors like a question about it. We can help you through it. And two is just like look that up. Find different articles about it. Find different areas of research about it. Another thing that's just totally worth the time, especially since you guys have so much of it. You guys can start being successful people. And finding your passion like this summer, right? Again, like don't think just because you guys are young and you don't really know much about science at the moment that you can't start, because everybody starts somewhere, no? I mean, like you look at all these top scientists. At one point, they're at your level
they were
too,
just
right?
like you
There's
and I.
nothing saying, yeah, right. So I mean, I just can't stress enough how important it is to just start like exploring. Um, and like, I don't know, you guys may be here because your parents made you be here, something like that. But like, take this opportunity, because coming from Nathan and I, who've
Done
been
this.
done this, been you guys,
Years.
we were just like you guys a couple years ago. Like, if I started exploring this stuff and like just looking up stuff at least like once a day, right? Um,
Like
like
5-10
the
minutes, right? Even that,
all it, yeah,
it doesn't even take much
exactly.
time commitment.
Yeah, like Nathan was saying, like 5-10 minutes a day, and it's just I would have been just so much better off. I would have found exactly like what my like in a sense what my purpose here in life is, right? I know that might be kind of a little bit too broad, but like it's just crazy, and you just have to trust us with this. So I just encourage you just to look through the different awards on this website and see what the different projects that students have done just in these past couple years, because that can be you guys, and don't think it can't, because it 100% can. So yeah.
Okay, so it's almost 1 right now, but I guess we should open up. Do you guys have any questions about anything science fair related? We're right here, right now to answer. And yeah. So do you guys please unmute yourself if you have any questions relating to science fair or anything? So yeah. We're prepared to answer. Well, yeah. Okay, well
How
that's
about
tough.
how about we continue with the
Yeah.
wait, how close are we are to one?
It
Oh,
is
it's 1
1
o'clock.
right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
So, yeah, you guys, I don't know if it's necessarily homework because we did put it out during the thing, but please finish that survey. Your results will help us immensely. Um, yeah, and make sure and look up other projects in the category, like Ashton was saying. They're really helpful. And like saying like what kind of is possible, essentially, like how to it's essentially like gives you like a frame of context, like what is possible for something for someone my age and things like that.
Anything, I promise it will be more fun than work because
Yeah.
like looking at this stuff, it's just like like people go to Disney World and they're like they're wonder and they're like they see all the like the cool stuff and they're like wow, like that's really cool. Like you'll be like it sounds weird, but you will be experiencing the same thing when you like look at these crazy projects. Like it's just go ahead. Like now is the time to start, and that's what we're here for. If you have any questions, want any help, just
Yeah.
shoot us a DM, ask in one of these discussion texts. In any chat, we'll be constantly looking. So
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that's about it. So yeah, we don't want to take up too much of your time any longer. So if you don't have anything else to do, I mean, if you don't have anything else, you don't have any questions, you guys are free to go. So yeah,
all right,
unless
guys.
Ashton has
Bye.
anything else to say. Wait, nope. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Bye,
that's
guys.
good stuff. See you guys later.
See you.